Hello, everybody. My name is Trisha Bart. I'm a Young Living Gold Leader, and I am really excited to chat with you tonight about using essential oils with your pets. If you do have questions during our chat tonight, feel free to unmute yourself or post something in our chat, and I'll do my best to answer those questions. There's been a lot going around the internet lately about using essential oils with your pets. As a matter of fact, there was a post that went, I would almost say viral, at least in the essential oil community, of someone who is using essential oils in a diffuser with a cat and had very, very sad results from that. And the reality is our essential oils are strong, they're powerful, and we need to know how to use them safely. But it does come down to knowing where your oils come from and knowing how they're produced. And that is one thing that is completely different about Young Living, and the reason that I will only use Young Living essential oil products for myself and in my household with my animals. Now, I have 3 pets. I have a dog and 2 cats, and we've had several pets over the years that have lived long, healthy lives, and many of them have been part of our oily household. We started using essential oils in 2007. So we've been using them as part of our healthy lifestyle for 11 years now. So we hear those reports and say, goodness, what was this person doing? I think the biggest challenge is that they were using essential oils that were probably not pure, and just didn't know how to use them safely. So tonight is about helping you learn those basic safety reminders for using essential oils with your animals and to answer questions that you might have. I do have a short presentation, so we'll zip over to the presentation and let me get that started for you. And again, if you have questions while this is going on, it's a little challenging for me to see questions while the slide presentation is up, but I will come back and check the chat box so I can get to that. And having a little trouble with my screen here, not moving for me. Let me do it this way. Okay, here we go. So tonight, although the slide says welcome to using essential oils with dogs, we're going to talk about other animals as well. And again, that important reminder that whenever we talk about our essential oils, it's never intended to be a diagnosis, treatment, curing, preventing any disease. Our essential oils are beautiful, but they are not drugs. If your animal has a medical condition, please seek appropriate medical care. And especially with animals, it's even more challenging. They can't tell us what's going on. So please do seek appropriate medical care for your pets. And you may find that there are ways that you can support their wellness with essential oils. And hopefully you'll have a vet that's open to that. So tonight we're going to be talking about using essential oils safely with your pets and supporting them with Young Living products. We'll have a couple of do-it-yourself recipes, and because I'm recording this, you'll be able to go back and look at those recipes if you'd like to take advantage of them. So let's keep going here. So last year, I actually attended the Essential Oils and Animal Conference in Mona, Utah at the farm there. And you can see that panel of experts. There were quite a number of veterinarians there. There were also some of the most highly recognized animal trainers in the country there. There was an equine expert there. So we really were learning for the best of the best. And several of these people are also on an advisory panel to Young Living. In the bottom left, you'll see Gary Young, the founder of our company. He was just back from actually competing in the Iditarod and other dog sled races. This was a lifelong dream of his to participate. And one of our brand ambassadors for Young Living is Mitch Seavey, and he is a 3-time winner of the Iditarod. So Gary supported his sled dogs through the whole process using Young Living products. And it was really exciting to hear all he had done to prepare for that event. And let's just take a moment to talk about what are essential oils. So essential oils are volatile aromatic liquids that come from plants. They have been used for thousands and thousands of years. Really, since the beginning of time, man has used essential oils for cosmetic purposes, for emotionally uplifting properties. They're primarily obtained through steam distillation through the plant, and they absorb quickly through the skin. And this is going to be important when we're talking about using essential oils with our pets. This is the reason that I use Young Living oils, this seed to seal promise. And it is not just a slogan, it really is how this company operates. They own farms and work with partner and co-op farms around the world to ensure the seed to seal process for every single oil and product that arrives at your doorstep from Young Living. So what does this mean? It means that in the long run, there's nothing in your bottle of oil except pure essential oils. The oils are never extended, adulterated, and so you can trust that when you open up a bottle of peppermint essential oil, the only thing in there comes from peppermint plants. Very important when you're using oils with your animals. So Young Living actually has a scientific advisory council, which is, my goodness, we have quite a number of scientists on board. Last count I heard was 32, and they're involved in every step of creating and designing new products for us and testing our existing products for purity. We also have a veterinary advisory council, which I think is very exciting and great for our conversation tonight, featuring, there are 3 vets on the council right now, Dr. Nancy Brandt, Dr. John Hanover, and Dr. Susan Albright. And for those of you, I know there's several of you in the Midwest, and I'll tell you that Dr. Hanover and Dr. Albright are both in Illinois. So if you are looking for an essential oil friendly vet, these may be wonderful choices for you. Dr. Albright is at the Chenoa Veterinary Clinic. She is the Chenoa Veterinary Clinic. She began practicing in 1996. The majority of her practice focuses on horses, but she does work with smaller animals using nutrition, Chinese herbs, acupuncture, and chiropractic to improve the overall health of her patients. She uses Young Living essential oils throughout her practice. So there are essential oil friendly vets out there. And Dr. Brandt has also, she is the pioneer behind the Veterinary Medical Aromatherapy Association. And this is a coalition of vets that are interested in using aromatherapy to support the wellness of their pets. So we have a lot of trends, groundbreaking people involved with Young Living and supporting animals with essential oils. So some of those basic safety premises that are there for us as humans also apply to our animals. Everyone is a little different. So when you first start using your essential oils with your pets, you definitely want to start low and go slow. If you're going to be applying them topically, you want to watch for any irritation of the skin. If you are diffusing, you absolutely want to make sure that an animal can leave the space where you are diffusing the essential oil. And we'll talk a little bit more about all of these in a moment. Obviously, adding a carrier oil when you're using oils topically with your pets is important. So now Bruce is not my pup, but here are some of his favorites. Ningxia Red, which is awesome to be able to share that with your animals. It is perfectly safe to share that with your animals. Agiles is one of our supplements, great for supporting bone and joint health. And so that is also appropriate for use with your animals. Our omega-3 product, Omega-Gize, beautiful for supporting normal brain, eye, heart, joint health, all of those fatty tissues, also true for our animals. Some of this pup's favorite essential oils are peppermint, digize, valor, copaiba, and we'll be talking about each of these just a little bit as we go on. So when it comes to using oils on your pets, you can use the same oils that you use on yourself. You just want to dilute them and use more or less depending on the size of your animal. And I'll also add that you want to use more or less depending on the overall health and age of your animal. As our animals get older, they are more sensitive to essential oils, so you would want to use less. And obviously, if they are if you're using them to support them while they're going through a health challenge, you will want to use less essential oil. Animals, obviously, especially dogs and cats, are much more sensitive to smell than we are, so we want to introduce essential oil slowly and let the animal guide you. Obviously, they can't talk to you, but if you have a pet that is, especially dogs, rubbing its nose, that means they're probably sensitized to the oil and they've gotten a little too much. So back off. And the same with cats. Cats will leave the room if they are done with the essential oils. So there are 3 basic ways that we can use our essential oils, and this is true with our animals. Diffusing essential oils is very beneficial for animals. Use your Young Living diffuser, that's fine. You can also apply a drop to yourself and hold it at about 8 to 10 inches away from the pet. Again, let them inhale it and come investigate it as opposed to forcing it on them. And that's, to be honest, that's a little mistake that we made with our pup when she was very little. We used a lot of peace and calming around her, and to this day she does not like peace and calming. She runs the other direction when you start to get the peace and calming bottle. So let the animal tell you. Topical application is also helpful. This particular slide, it says is favorable. It may or may not be the most appropriate way. Diffusing is so helpful, but applying essential oils topically to your animal. Again, you'll want to start low and go slow. So for example, here, I don't know if you can see me in that upper corner there, but here's a bottle of Valor essential oil. And I would just take a drop in my hand. Whee. It's not giving, there, I got a drop finally. And I would rub my palms together, and I would even rub some of that on me. I have some smaller animals, and we have a dilution chart coming up for you in a second, but I would rub a little bit of that on me. And then I like the petting technique, just gently stroking on your cat like or your dog, either one, as you would normally, petting them. As a great way for applying essential oils. You can use spritz bottles. This is one of the DIYs that you'll see later in the presentation. I mixed this up in a spritz bottle. It's mostly distilled water, just a few drops of essential oil. There's nothing in here to keep the oils mixed in the water, so I give it a good shake before I would apply it. And then I would cover my pet's eyes and ears and actually spray away from her face. And you can apply essential oils that way. Also, applying on the paw pads is awesome, but remember, animals walk on their feet, they walk on the surfaces of your home, they walk outside, especially in the winter. They may be walking on surfaces that have been treated with salt and other chemicals that are harsh for them. And if you put essential oils on their paw pads without washing their paw pads with you know, a clean product like from Young Living, you may be forcing some unpleasant toxic chemicals into their system with the essential oils. So using the petting technique is really very effective. And then internally, this, again, it's not necessary for it to be under a vet's advisement, but I would go very, very slowly if you decide that you want to use essential oils internally with your pets. You can use a veggie cap with them. You could put a drop in their food or their water. Again, you want to avoid creating a dislike for the food or the water. So if you're going to put something in their water, also offer them a bowl of just fresh water so that they have an option in case they don't like the taste. So here's a suggestion on dilution. You'll see obviously for smaller animals you wanted to dilute quite a lot. So 1 drop in 4 drops of carrier oil. Actually 1 drop to 3 drops would be a 75% because the total is 4. 26 to 45 pound, 50 to 75% dilution. Carrier oils that are great for pets. Our V6 oil is awesome. It's a wonderful combination of 6 different vegetable oils, and it's a great carrier oil for us and our pets. Organic coconut oil, organic virgin olive oil, or our animal sense ointment. And that comes in a great big tub. One of these guys is going to last you a really, really long time, unless you're working with large animals like horses. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the animal sense ointment in a moment. So there are some oils in the Premium Starter Kit that are awesome for your animals. So let's talk about those for a moment. Copaiba is great for active dogs, and it's Copaiba contains a really high amount of beta-caryophyllene, which is a wonderful molecule. I encourage you to go look that one up and find out more about it. Copaiba Vitality is great for supporting the body's natural response to to irritation, pardon me, and support healthy digestion. So this is a great layering oil, Copaiba, or for putting a drop in their food, Copaiba Vitality. Frankincense is wonderful for overall wellness. The frankincense vitality, great for emotional support and also for supporting overall well-being and a healthy immune system. Frankincense essential oil can actually help to focus the mind. So maybe during training, it might be a nice time to have a little frankincense on yourself. It might also be a nice addition to one of the carrier oils for helping to maintain healthy skin and coat. Lavender essential oil, I gotta tell you, lavender essential oil was one of the very first oils that I used myself, and it reminded me how powerful our oils are. I had taken a drop in my hands for myself at night. I cupped it over my mouth and nose. I rubbed some on the soles of my feet, rubbed my hands on my pillow, and without even thinking, I reached over and pet our cat. And our cat was on the bed, and he immediately went, I thought, oh, okay, these are very powerful. So just a reminder, when you do use your oils, you might want to wash your hands so that you don't inadvertently pet a cat or a dog who maybe doesn't need the oil that you have on your hands. But lavender is a beautiful one to use with your pets for helping them relax. If you have an animal that responds to car rides or thunderstorms, you might want to try making up a little spritz with lavender. You can put it on their bedding to help them have a good night's sleep. Peppermint is awesome. So peppermint vitality, great for supporting healthy digestion in your pets and us. Peppermint essential oil also might be a great one to use when you're training your animals, helping them to master new concepts. So again, and you could use it during the summer months if you want to mix it in with some distilled water into spritzer, spritz it on their coat, help cool them down. So Digize is one of the oils, Digize Vitality is one of the oils I really love for supporting a healthy digestive system. And it also works beautifully with your pets. If you would like to apply Digize topically, you can just rub a little over their belly or on the VitaFlex points on their pads. There are charts that you can find in reference books for those VitaFlex points. Also, another one you might want to have along on car trips, use a little car diffuser with a drop of Digize on there. So Panaway is really great for comforting joints and muscle, wonderful for after strenuous exercise or long walks or runs. Sometimes we forget, especially as dogs get older, those long walks and runs along the beach that they enjoy so much can take it out of them. So layering on some Panaway and then a little Copaiba on top to relax and soothe and comfort them. Now, purification is a great one for helping to enjoy the outdoors annoyance-free. You could put some in a little spray bottle with some water and just spritz it on the animal like we talked about before. Great as an air freshener. If you have a wet dog in the car, you might want to spritz down the car and help it smell fresh again. Stress Away. And I just love that, you know, just as you would expect to use it for yourself, this is a great one to help pets that maybe have come from a difficult situation. Maybe you're integrating a rescue dog or pet into your home. Maybe there's been some change around the house. Maybe there's been a change in work schedule, or one of the owners is no longer around. You know, there are all kinds of things that can create emotional situations for our animals. And so Stress Away is a beautiful one to help promote relaxation in your animals. So use it in a diffuser, put it on yourself and be a diffuser for your pet. It's really a lovely one for our animals. Lemon Vitality Oil in the water bowl. Why not? How beautiful. Again, just keep fresh water around for the animals. But I love this idea of putting some lemon on a ribbon by the door as a scent marker for your dog. So that, you know, if you have a pup with vision problems, it will help them find the door. And it will also help with puppy training to help them associate where they need to go when it's time to go. The blend of RC is a wonderful combination of three different eucalyptus oils, cypress and spruce. This is a great one to help your pets just feel ready to go, and also good for training, and also very comforting and soothing after a long walk. Again, this particular blend is no longer in the starter kit, but it's a beautiful oil to have on hand. Now, thieves, as we know, our thieves' vitality is great for supporting overall wellness and a healthy immune system. And that's also true with our animals. Just remember that thieves can be a hot oil because of the cinnamon bark in it. So definitely dilute it if you're going to use it topically with your pet, and just a drop in their water if they like the taste of it. I know our dog loves the taste of peppermint essential oil. Thieves, not so much. Peppermint vitality. Thieves' vitality, not so much. Okay, now there is a collection of oils that are already diluted for use with your animals. Now, if you have a smaller animal, you may want to dilute it a little further. And these blends are also appropriate for use with larger animals like horses. All of our essential oils are safe for use with horses as well. There is a blend called PuraClean, and this is great for cleaning any injuries to the hide. And this would be step one in a process of using, cleaning any injury to the animal. So obviously you want to make sure if it needs veterinary attention that you get that. But pre-clean the area with PuraClean. And then next you would use Infectaway, which is the one in the middle. And again, I would use all of these in a spritz bottle and just spritz them on the area. And then finally Mendwell, I would put that on top to help the animal. And I would actually layer on some animal scents on top of oils if you're helping support an animal that is recovering from any kind of injury. The Blend TOA, now this is an awesome one for animals that may be experiencing some kind of emotional response. This is great for bringing new levels of emotional freedom and joyful feelings. So again, if you have an animal that has experienced some kind of transition, it could even be another, having lost a companion pet. You know, we know that those changes affect us, but they also affect the other pets in the household. So diffusing a little TOA or applying it topically to your animal can be very beneficial during those times of change. Repel-A-Roam, so that's another awesome one to put in a spray bottle and spritz it on your animal so they can enjoy the outdoors annoyance-free. Paragize is very similar to Digize, and this would be one that you might want to apply topically to the abdominal area. The Animal Scent Shampoo. All right, so this is specifically blended for use with animals. Obviously, our other shampoos would be just fine, but this one contains essential oils that are great for their skin. And again, like our shampoos, this is highly concentrated. I take this with me to my groomer, and I have to remind them it's really concentrated. A little dab will do you. So just know that it is safe for your animals and all plant-based, so no harsh chemicals. And I personally find that even when I go to a groomer and they say, oh, I have this great shampoo, it's got oatmeal and it's really safe for animals, my animal still comes home with an obvious smell of some kind of chemical fragrance and ends up really itchy afterwards. So I make it a point of taking her animal scent shampoo whenever she gets groomed. And guess what? We have pet dental chews. Now these dental chews here, I'll pull one out. Although you can see it pretty well in the picture, they are actually kind of large. So there you go. And it's got ridges. So for our 20-pound Cocker Spaniel, we slice it along the ridge and she'll get one section. And there are feeding directions on the package itself. And really 2 or 3 times a week is all you need with these to help with their oral health. And of course the essential oils in there are great for that too. Our dog goes nuts for these. She absolutely adores them. And we also have cat treats now. These are not for oral health. It's just a nice way to offer your cat a treat with some essential oils already in it. And again, we have one cat that begs for them. At the same time that the dog gets her treats at night, the cat shows up looking for her treats. And the other cat is not so interested. So just know that your animals will tell you if they want it or not. And guess what? The raindrop technique is not just for people. This is a beautiful layering technique that your animals can find very soothing and comforting, just like you. So what I do for my household, I mix up what I call a kitty raindrop in a bottle. And if you're interested in doing that, there are recipes in reference books. By the way, there are some reference books that are specifically for animals these days, but the big reference book that I use also has a section on using essential oils with animals and pets. So this particular recipe calls for 4 drops of all of the single oils in the raindrop collection. That's oregano, thyme, wintergreen, peppermint, cypress. My brain is falling out. Did I say basil? But yeah, all you have to do is look up the raindrop oils and you'll see. So it's 4 drops of each of the single oils, and then the rest of this is carrier oil. And I literally use 1 drop of this mix with our cats. I will put it at the base of their spine, and I will just kind of scritch it up the back 2-3 times. With our pup, I'll use 2 or 3 drops of this. She's a little bigger than our cats. And you might be surprised to hear that I use oils that are high in phenols with our cats. Guess what? If you're using pure oils and you use them diluted and you don't use a lot and you pay attention to what you're doing, it's perfectly safe. As a matter of fact, you might have seen me post a picture of my 2 cats on my massage table right next to the raindrop oils. They love getting a raindrop. We do it maybe once a month with the animals. It's not necessary to force it on them, but they love it. It's a relaxing bonding experience for us and our pets. So here are some other oils that you might want to have on hand, particularly for use around dogs, but they're also great for cats and other pets. So Christmas Spirit can be a wonderful one for helping with learning, helping them feel more secure. Citrus Fest Vitality would be another one that you would maybe add a drop to their water for general health, immune support, encouraging them to drink their water and stay hydrated. We have a dog that sometimes forgets to drink, and she gets to the end of the day and she just laps up her whole bowl of water. So if they like the taste of the Citrus Vitality, go ahead. It's okay to put a drop in their water for them. Clarity. Now, Clarity is a great blend for us too for mental focus. So it might be a really helpful one if you're training a pet, and it can help with energy levels. Common Sense. Yeah, it's a great oil for us, and it's also a great one for our pets to help them with decision making. Neroli is one of the citrus oils, and it can help if you have a pet that seems to have bad dreams. I know our dog is often hunting squirrels in her dreams, but it doesn't seem like a bad dream. She just seems to be out there having some fun. Orange can help with older dogs, dogs that are processing emotion. Peace and Calming too. Now Cleo does not like, our dog does not like Peace and Calming, the blend Peace and Calming anymore, but she likes Peace and Calming too. There's just a slightly different aroma to the Peace and Calming 2 blend, and she loves it. So helping her relax, it's great as we're heading out maybe to the vet. She's not really great in the car, so a little Peace and Calming on me seems to help her. The same with Valor and Valor 2. Great for empowering your pets. If you have animals that compete, Valor may be a really helpful blend. I remember working with a horse years ago who was having some challenges with competition. She had all the skills, but she wasn't always up for it emotionally. And so we applied some Valor to the withers, and she really seemed much happier, much more confident, and did really well in her competitions. By the way, raindrop technique is also excellent with horses. They love it, absolutely love it. Helichrysum, great for more active dogs. It's one of the oils in the blend Panaway. We already spoke about frankincense a little bit. Marjoram is one of the oils in the raindrop collection. So girl crazy dogs. So if you want to calm your dog down, some marjoram might be awesome. And then Deep Relief is another one of the oils that's great for soothing and comforting muscle. And here are some nutritionals. Yes, we have several nutritionals that are safe to use with your animals. Ningxia Red, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And Sulfurzyme. If you do want to use Sulfurzyme, which has MSM in it, use the capsule. The powdered version of sulfurzyme contains xylitol, which is very dangerous for dogs. So please, if you choose to use any of our nutritional products, read the ingredients very carefully. We do have one toothpaste that does not contain xylitol. I'm not going to say it offhand because I don't remember and I don't want to mislead you. But if you want to use our toothpaste with your dogs, there is one that is completely safe. So just be sure to read the ingredients. The Omega Gi's 3 we talked about, and Agilis we also talked about. So those are great supplements. You can open up the capsules and put it into your animal's food and a small portion of their food to help them get some of the support from these great nutritional products. You know, I encourage you, if you're not already, to consider the Essential Rewards program. It's just simply the best way to get the most bang for your buck. You get free product from Young Living each month when you have an Essential Rewards order of 100 PV or more. You also earn credit toward free product, starting at 10% and going up to 25% after you've been in the program for a little bit. And you earn free rewards at 3, 6, 9, and 12 months, reduced shipping. You get to control what comes to your door each month. You can even change your shipment date if you'd like to. There's a minimum 50 PV purchase, but when you start swapping out for cleaner, greener products for your home, you know, if you're going to be using the Thieves Household Cleaner in your home, if everyone in your family is drinking Ningxia Red to support their great health, you'll want to be in this program. It really is the best bang for your buck. And most people come to realize that it's not an additional cost to your family. It's simply a matter of taking line items in your budget that maybe you're picking up at the grocery store or a convenience store, not a convenience store, a drugstore, and moving them to your Young Living order so that you're getting better quality products for your family. So here are those DIY recipes for your dogs, and they would also work on cats. Here is a dog shampoo that you can mix up on your own if you don't have time to wait for the Animal Sense shampoo to come. And I'm just going to leave these up and let you take a look at them. There's also a dry shampoo. If you have a pup that you just don't have the time to wash and dry thoroughly, but needs to be freshened up a little bit, it's a great combination of baking soda, cornstarch, and some lavender essential oil. Now, when it comes to your dog's ears, particularly breeds like Cocker Spaniels, which is what we have, tend to have some challenges with their ears because the ears flop down, so they tend to get moist in there. If you do decide to use something like this to clean the animal's ears, remember, you're just going around the outside of the ear. You are not putting essential oils into the ear canal. You're not spraying them into the ear. This is just to gently clean around the outside of the ear. Use a cotton ball. And again, this is very diluted in carrier oil and water. So we did make up, I did make up some of this Eau de Dog, companies come in cologne. So this is a great way to freshen your dog up between baths. And again, you would just shake it and spritz it on your pet away from the eyes and the face, because nobody likes a stinky dog. Now, if you do like to take trips out to the woods or go hiking with your pet, remember to help them enjoy the outdoors annoyance-free too. This is a great combination of oils, purification, citronella, cedarwood, palo santo, and thyme. Put them in a 4-ounce spray bottle. And remember, when we mix these things up, we want to mix into glass. Even though it's very diluted, our essential oils do much better in glass. So mix it up in a glass bottle, give it a good shake before you use it, spritz their coat, again, avoiding the eyes, ears, and face. And another thing that you can do, if you would prefer not to spray this on your animal, if your animal has a cloth collar, it's very simple to put a drop or two of the of this blend of oils, our purification blend, or the Repel-A-Rome blend for the animals from the Animal Sense collection. Just put it right on their collar. I would put it on the outside so it's not being held against their skin. Put a drop or two on their collar, let it dry, put their collar on, and they're going to enjoy the benefits of those essential oils. Just a reminder about the goodies that Young Living is offering this month with your 100 PV Essential Rewards purchase, you will receive a 5 milliliter lemon vitality. Awesome. And I just have to talk about the 200 PV offer, because when you place an order of 250 PV or more, you're going to receive the 14 ounce bottle of Thieves Household Cleaner. Remember, this guy is super, super concentrated. You know, an ounce in 16 or 32 ounces of water is going to go a long, long way. You get, what, 14 bottles if you only use an ounce at a time. And so very, very cost effective. Great plant-based, effective cleaning that's safe for everyone in your family, kiddos and pets. You don't have to think anymore about what you're cleaning your floor with and the fact that your animals are walking on that and absorbing it through their pads. But it also comes with that beautiful glass spray bottle. So we have one from last year. I'm looking forward to getting this one with my order. And we keep one of those glass spray bottles at every sink in our house. So it's really a wonderful offer this month. I hope you'll take advantage of that. So a couple things are coming up. Next month, our monthly call will be on Saturday, April 7th, and it'll be in the morning, 10 a.m. Central Time. It will be our Spring Live Your Passion YL Unites event. So you'll hear all the latest and exciting news from Young Living, including some new product announcements. And then coming in June is the Young Living International Grand Convention in Salt Lake City. I know some of you are planning to be there, and I am so excited to be there myself. So that is the slide presentation. And so I want to open this up to any questions you may have. I'll do my best to answer questions about using essential oils with your pets. Did anything come up for you while we were chatting tonight that you'd like to know more about? And feel free to unmute yourself. I hope I covered your basic questions about safety. Any questions that anybody has? Now, I'll be honest with you, we don't apply oils to our animals every day. We don't put them in our food every day. We go more based on when there have been changes. And yes, come spring, we start using oils for outdoors with our dog when we go for a walk. We are mindful of doing that for her. But, you know, in the winter months, we don't feel a need to do that. So we use them specifically on the animal when we feel there's a need. We have diffusers going in our house all the time, though, so they're getting the benefits from that. We use the Thieves Household Cleaner to keep our house clean, so we know that they're getting benefits from that as well. I would love to say that we treat our animals to Ningxia Red every day, but it's not really in our budget just yet. We love our animals, but it's not in our budget just yet. One thing I will say, at the Animal Conference last year, all of the vets spoke to the importance of diet. And so just as for our own wellness, we're talking about lifestyle. We also talk about lifestyle when it comes to our pets. It's about everything around them, the environment, the emotional environment, and it's also about the food. So if you have an animal that is having some health challenges, speak with your vet about appropriate food for them. I will tell you that all of the vets at the conference felt that feeding raw is the gold standard for our pets. You may not feel that it's an option for you budget-wise. There are some much more budget-friendly options these days than there were even just a few years ago. But I am not a vet, so if you are considering making changes like that, discuss it with your vet and learn how to do it. There are ways to transition your animal to a raw diet. It is a little bit of a different kind of a commitment than just being able to open a can or put some kibble in a dish, but it is considered the gold standard these days by many vets for feeding. And there will be another animal conference coming up in October out at the farm in Mona, Utah. I'm at this point in my life planning to be there. I'm excited to go. They always have animals there. Robin's been to the farm in Mona. She knows how there are just so many animals at the farm. They have a small kind of, well, I won't call it a zoo because it's not a zoo in any way, but there's a beautiful collection of animals there and many, many, many horses, some who compete. And so at the animal conference, you get to see them receive a raindrop technique, and they had a dog trainer working with animals, and you got to see how the oils were used in the training process. So if you have this interest, or if you have a friend that has an interest, be sure to let them know about that. That'll be coming up in October. Tickets are not yet available, but keep an eye on the website if that's of interest to you. So Robin, did you have a question? I saw that you had unmuted yourself.
Yeah, actually, I was wondering if you if you're ever cautious about which oils you're diffusing. Like, do you diffuse thieves freely in your house? The whole internet blowing up about the cats and stuff does have me a little bit freaked out. I've seen Lindsay Elmore's thing. I noticed that you posted a video earlier about that, and I know that cinnamon oil is one of the ones that they say to be cautious about. And I've always just diffused whatever. I never really thought about it, and I've never had a problem. But I've got a couple of kitties that sneeze a lot, and one's got goopy eyes, and I'm like, am I doing something that's causing them something? I just wondered what your thoughts are on that. I mean, obviously it's diluted, and I don't know.
Yeah, that's an excellent question. Thank you for asking. Obviously, when we're using the ultrasonic diffusers, we're really literally talking 2 or 3 or 4 drops of an oil or a blend in a certain amount of water. So it really is very, very dilute. If you're using it in a small contained area, yeah, you may want to be mindful about oils like thieves with your pets. One thing I will share, I don't have a basement at this time in my life, but I have for all the previous years of using essential oils. And Young Living used to have a diffuser called the TheraPro, which you literally attached. Yeah, you literally attached a bottle of essential oil, and it had a timer, and you could control how much oil it diffused. But it just blew air across the essential oil and dispersed it into the room. Okay, so there was no diluting in water. It was just pure essential oil. And I had made the decision that it was a good idea to diffuse the Thieves blend in my basements. And so I did. And I did it pretty much 24/7. I just would set the timer. I would set it on the lowest dispersion rate and the longest time lapse between rates. And in both houses, our cats had their boxes in the basement. In one house, I actually had my office in the basement, and the cats always came and spent time with me. The other house it was a pretty large basement, so even diffusing just straight Thieves oil, it was pretty dispersed in the air, but we never ever had a challenge with our cats. So I would say let your cats tell you. Hello, cousin. Hey, Mark, how are you? So I would let the cats tell you if they look like they're trying to leave the room. Obviously, it's time to slow down how much you're diffusing. For me personally, I would not hesitate to diffuse Thieves around my animals, especially if we're at a time when I think it's going to do everybody some good. Now, things like drippy eyes might be diet related. So you might want to look at what you're feeding them. Both cats and dogs seem to do really well. If you're not able to go raw, they seem to do well with more limited ingredient, grain-free diets, closer to what they would be eating in nature.
All right. I've got that TheraPro diffuser too, and I run purification in the room where I keep the litter box, because I don't want people to walk into my house and be like, hey, she's got a lot of cats,
Right.
And that doesn't seem to bother them. And I actually, for this time of year, I made a raindrop roller ball for myself, and I'll smear that on my feet and on my neck before I go to bed at night. And they pile on top of me and want to snuggle. So, because I'm like, oh, that's got oregano in it, and oregano is not supposed to be good for them. So, so they do truly have a sense of what might be harmful to them.
They absolutely do. They absolutely do. And animals have been using herbs to help them as long as people have been. Think about that cat that goes outside and eats a lot of grass and then might regurgitate. And usually that's because they need to clear something. They know how to take care of themselves. So yes, they will leave a room if they're finding something uncomfortable.
Okay.
And I think it's purely about the quality of the oil. So yeah, there are some precautions. If you feel you want to err on the side of caution, check out the section on animals in a reference book. There will be some suggestions about cats. And, you know, it's often described as cats are deficient in this liver enzyme. Well, no. Cats have the liver enzymes they're supposed to have. They just happen to be a little different from humans and dogs. And so they do process essential oils a little differently. And so, yeah, it's good to be mindful around them. But like I say, I've never heard of anything like this in any of the oilers that use young living oils. Never, ever heard of anyone having a challenge. So, yeah, thanks for asking. I hope that reassures you.
Yes.
Good. Any other questions? No? Okay. Well, let's see. I think all of you ladies have posted a picture already. I think Heather did too. If you haven't, or if you have some friends that might like to be entered in our drawing, be sure to let them know to go ahead and post a picture of their favorite pet. And we'll be having that drawing at 10 o'clock my time, so noon Central tomorrow, right on Facebook Live, right on our Perfect Sense for Life page. And I'll keep my fingers crossed that it's one of you ladies. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you do think of a question later, go ahead and pop it into the event and I'll do my best to answer it. Have a wonderful evening. Good night.
Good night.